YouTube, welcome back. We have talked a lot about data mining and having perfect information in Last Epoch in the past. One thing that I enjoy telling people about is legendary potential, because if you're brand new to the game, you might not know what legendary potential is, and it's a pretty important thing about how Last Epoch works and why it's awesome. Going hand in hand with legendary potential is legendary potential level, and LP level is something that describes the relative difficulty of getting something with 4 or 1 or 0 LP on it. So hopefully you know what all those terms are. We're not going to explain those right now, but we will take a look at an item like Bleeding Heart. So Bleeding Heart has an LP level of 4. That's why it's relatively common to get one of these with 2, 3, or maybe even 4 LP. It has such a low effective level for legendary potential that you can reasonably get a 3 or 4 LP Bleeding Heart. On the other side of the spectrum is Bastion of Honor. Bastion of Honor has an effective level for legendary potential, LP level, of 90. It doesn't mean like your character has to be level 90. That's not what it means. It's a relative number that describes how difficult it is to get this thing with 1, 2, 3, or God, even 4 LP. So 4, very low, pretty reasonable. 90 means very high. Until fairly recently, we haven't had good information about how the formula works to describe exactly how commonly these things drop with their respective LP on them. There were data miners in the past who had a formula, but they were applying the formula incorrectly. Recently, we had some more data miners who were working on it who came up with the same formula, but they applied it in a correct fashion. So I am 1 hour late to presenting this information to you, but thankfully Bina also jumped onto the subreddit r/LastEpoch and posted this thing here, which I will now post in Twitch chat. So this is an excellent graphic that describes the information that we now have perfect for. So I'm going to show you another spreadsheet, which he has linked down here. Bina says, thanks to some dedicated community members, we now have a better understanding of exactly how these numbers work. It's true, we do. So what that means, let me, instead of showing you the fancy graphic, let me show you the ugly graphic, okay? And by ugly graphic, I mean, let me show you a spreadsheet, because if you like action RPGs, oh boy, you like spreadsheets, don't you? Let's pull up this one. So here's our spreadsheet for all the spreadsheet gamers out there. This is a description of how difficult it is to get any unique item with 1, 2, 3, or 4 LP on it, which is very cool. So you should know that these numbers will all add up to X, and then 100 minus X is the percent chance that you're going to get it with no LP, right? So Grimoire, for example, there's a 64% chance that your Grimoire will have 1 LP, and then percent chance for 2, percent chance for 3, percent chance for 4. So 60, 70, 80, 88, 92-ish. So there's like a 7 point something percent chance that your Grimoire will have 0 LP on it. So if you have a 0 LP Grimoire, wow, good job. But it is very, very common that these items at the very top will have at least 1 LP, which is cool. So going on to the very bottom, you'll see that something like Wings of Argentus has when the Wings of Argentus drops, there's a 0.0007% chance that it's going to have 1 LP. And then there's a 0.000004% chance that it has 2 LP. Lamau. Okay, so now we know exactly how lucky or unlucky you are to have these items drop. So why is this interesting to you? Frankly, it's not. If you've been playing Last Epoch for a long time, you already have a good feel for how these things work. What it does mean is you know exactly how good or bad to feel when you drop these items. So you're like, wow, I've got a 0 LP. I really won the lottery on this one. So something like Peak of the Mountain has a fairly low LP level, and it drops with 1 LP very commonly. None of this information is going to change how you play the game, I think. I'm pretty sure that none of this information is going to change how you play the game, and it's not going to change any of your decision-making processes. What this might mean is that a new player could look at this information and say, hey, my dream of getting a 1 LP Wings of Argentus might be kind of far-fetched, because a 1 LP Wings of Argentus means that you're getting 100 or 200 or 300 of these things to drop, and you might get one with 1 LP. You could get it on the first try if you're lucky, but so that's what these numbers are going to mean to you. We did clarify with the developers. I don't think he talked about this down here, but yeah. So we clarified with the developers whether this was like an appropriate level of granularity to be sharing publicly with other people. They're okay with it. So my understanding of this is that it's all correct information. My understanding after checking and double checking the formula and then seeing what people posited the formula was in the past, and like the developers told us that those formulas weren't correct, it really seems like all of this information's right. Unless the developers explicitly tell us that it's wrong, we have lots and lots of reasons to believe that it is correct. So here's your information. I will link this, and I guess if Bean is also linking directly to the spreadsheet here, I will also link directly to the spreadsheet along with the Reddit post that Bina here has put together. So this information's out there. You know exactly how lucky or unlucky you are. If you don't know what LP level is or LP, you should go find that out. I've got other links for that in twitch.tv/PiggerThePig. My bot will help you. Or I've got other YouTube videos here on the channel that will describe how these things work. Let me know what is the luckiest or unluckiest thing that you found in Last Epoch relative to this. I don't know what my answer is. I got a 1 in 10. I got a couple 1 LP Prism Wraps. I've got some 2 LP Call Navarre's Claims. But now that we know exactly how this works, I kind of want to go find out exactly how lucky I've been with a handful of these things. Because I have a 5% chance, there's a 4% chance. Like, do I have any like 3 or like 0.03% chance stuff? I'm going to go verify which one I've got. We'll see. Twitch chat has a 2 LP Prism Wraps. Okay, I got to go. I'm going to go ban somebody. I'll be right back.